Well, we're here in Las Vegas, and I'm catching up with the Brisbane Bullets because this is a really exciting time for the club. It's great for the league, but we've got to talk about this from a Brisbane's perspective because you've got a signing, and it's a fan favourite around the league, and it's a former MVP in Jaylen Adams. Congratulations, and how's it feeling? How'd you get it done?
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, look, it's been a pretty significant off season for us. I think we had we set about being patient and having a very deliberate approach to what we were going to do with our free agency. And it's just exciting that we've landed with Jaylen. I think he's going to be great for the club, great fit, and great for Brisbane.
No, obviously you're here, Jason, you're here as well, but the Brisbane Bullets staff doesn't just end there. Harsh is behind the camera. We'll catch up with him at some point. You've got a lot of hands on deck here in Las Vegas. It is a time to be looking at a lot of talent. What do you want to take out of these kind of trips? And again, you talk about a patient approach, understanding that you go too early in an off season. It can obviously work out, but obviously you can miss some opportunities that pop up, like a former MVP.
Yeah, look, I think the opportunity with Summer League, and we have got a crew here with us. You said Harsh Turner is with us here, and Jay's in town, and a couple other guys. And it's really about prospecting. I think building our relationships, with the agents around the league, but also having a look around what's, getting our list ready for next year and the year after. I think getting a good view on the landscape of the players in market and planning ahead is really key.
Jason, talk to me a bit more about the Jaylen Adams signing, because we spoke a couple of weeks ago on NBL Now, and you talked about having the core rolling over. We know Casey Prather's coming back, an MVP candidate. Tyrell Harrison, who we'll talk about, is playing very well here for the Nuggets. It's Summer League. Sam McDaniel back from injury. You've got those key guys. But this, as I said, they don't make them like Jaylen Adams often. He's won titles. He's won an MVP. It's a massive coup for Brisbane.
I think this is a game changer for us, a huge pivotal moment in the Bullets' history moving forward. Baltimore native, Jaylen Adams, a guy who's a proven bucket getter, a proven MVP in the league, and I think he's going to make a massive difference for us. I think it's something we really needed. I think you add that to some of the other pieces that we're collecting and putting together, and I think Stu Lash is in for a very exciting year.
Take us into the mindset of the business side of it. When you're watching a year, as you said, you're planning here for years ahead as well. But you see other players around the league, and does that start to pop up last year or even earlier when you see him first touchdown for Sydney, thinking, hey, if he becomes available at some point, that's a conversation we might have to have?
Absolutely, and I want to give my hats off to Mal here, because his vision the last 2 years to build the infrastructure and the foundation of the club moving forward around the Performance Center, around moving back to Boondle in a bigger arena, he's put a lot of the pieces in place that have allowed decisions and opportunities like the Jaylen Adams decision. I think Adams coming to the facility we have now, the organizational strength that we have now, I think was a big factor for him. And I think it's going to lead to great success.
Now, take us into how it all comes together then, because I know you've had some sleepless nights trying to make sure it gets locked away, but speaking to everybody who makes these decisions, who tries to get it over the line, knowing that fans want to see signings, right? When the off-season comes, we have free agency shows when it begins, there's some signings, and everyone's antsy. We want to see some players' names locked in. The good ones take time. And that's a lot of the time. How do you even get it to a point of like, you know what, we see the vision for you, Jaylen, but we want you to see it as well, and let's lock this in?
Yeah, I think like Jason mentions, I think we had to put in the foundation pieces for us to be attractive as a destination club. We love Brisbane, we love our city. Our fans feel the same way, and I feel like the club's been very close and at that tipping point to probably shed some of that perception, of prior years. And I think why I'm so excited about the Jaylen signing, I think it does exactly that. I think to be able to attract a player of that calibre, and also I think what was attractive for Jaylen too is the environment that we've set. We've spent some time with Jaylen sort of talking that through and what we stand by and our standards now at the Brisbane Bullets, and I think we're going to be presenting him with an environment that's going to make him better, on and off the court. So and like you say, I think it doesn't happen overnight. We're very deliberate in this free agency to lock things down. I think it's probably frustrating for some of our members and fans, but we wanted to make sure that in this off season that we hit our mark, and then the last piece was really getting our roster right. As we said, we've got our front office is firing. We've got a great move back to the entertainment centre, and we're making that home again, and we've got a high performance centre in the heart of the city. With a lot of our brand presence, increasing, day by day. So, all the pieces that come together. So pretty happy at the moment.
I mentioned we'll talk about Tyrell Harrison because he is here playing very well. So I have to ask, and I know we all agree that he's probably an NBA prospect at some point in his career. He's still incredibly young. We've just come to know and love him in the NBL for so long. If the NBA comes knocking, are you guys prepared for that, or is that something you just take in a stride?
Listen, I think he's a terrific talent, Tyrell. He had a fantastic year for us. I think he's got NBA talent. You know, as someone who's evaluated players to see if they can make the NBA, Tyrell has the ability. Whether it's this year or in the future, I think he's going to get other opportunities if it's not this year. We love him with the Bullets. His growth has been amazing. His leadership and the way he's emerged as a real star in the league. So we want the best for him, and we're going to see how it plays out. But obviously, we love having him in a Bullets uniform.
Malcolm, you on that?
Yeah, I can add to that. I think, echo that sentiment. Extremely proud of Tyrell. I don't think I've seen an individual or a player develop and mature in the last 2 years that I've been with him than Tyrell Harrison. He's a massive piece for us. He's part of our leadership team. But the business side is we plan for everything.
Yeah.
So we don't want to see him go, but we're planning for that if that's the case, and we'll be extremely proud and pleased for him if that's the case.
We'll see what transpires there over the next few weeks and the next few years with Tyrell Harrison. I want to talk about the off-season a little bit here because on all the shows that we tie names to clubs and the talking to, Will McDowell-White's one that pops up. Being a Brisbane kid, being a highly sought-after local marquee, I feel like those conversations always happen. And do you feel like at one stage, I've spoken to Will, I know he wants to be in Brisbane at some point in his career. I feel like it's going to happen, but just tell us about how you engage with that every single year, because a lot of fans think it's not going to happen, we're just talking rumours. But these are legitimate conversations.
Yeah, look, we've got an environment now where we're getting to a point where we're really selective on who we want to bring into the organisation. I think we've had the opportunity with Will now and me personally to build a relationship. I think the key part is ensuring that you've got the right relationships with these guys. So, we open our doors to Will. He's a Brisbane boy. We want to lean a lot more into our Brisbane locals and really encourage that pathway through the local, Basketball Queensland system in through the Bullets and the NBL or overseas. So, so Will was part of our pre-season, last year, and this off-season, Will's been in training with us every day for I think probably over a month now. I think the boys cheekily put his name on the locker. So look, the key thing there is to, support Will as a local that we're also proud of. He's going back overseas and with his lovely partner Aaliyah, and we wish them all the best. And again, it's just keeping connected and keeping a relationship and always having the doors open for our Brisbane locals.
Do you have any more plans then? You still obviously have one import spot up for grabs.
Yeah, we do. Whether I'm going to share them with you at the moment, it's probably a done thing. I think that's what has been a big focus for us, is locking in and keeping things tight and just backing our process this year. So there's a couple more moves to make, but I think the fans and certainly our members will get the sentiment that the time's right and that we're making all the the big decisions and we're landing some key talent now. And I mean, you asked me before, what would I say to the members and fans? I think. Pleasingly, I feel like we're in a position now to ask for their support to jump on, grab memberships, back the club. We've filled Brisbane Entertainment Centre to what it was in the yesteryears, and I think we've got some good pieces in play now where we can stand proud and really go after it this year.
Jason, I'll end on this because when we did catch up in the NBL now a couple of weeks ago, you had a big smile on your face. You said you're working on things. I didn't know what you're working on, but just chatting through here, you really are putting this plan and executing it perfectly, and it's a really exciting time for the Brisbane Bullets.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, listen, a lot of hard work from our team has gone into this. I think the pieces are coming together. Players with championship, MVP caliber pedigrees make a big difference, and we want to get back there. That's our main focus, to stay healthy, to stay focused, and as we build our winning culture, having those kind of players with that experience is going to make all the difference.
Give me in one word here then, Mal. Are you done for the NBL26, or are we going to have to catch up again?
We might have to catch up again.
Oh, that's going to keep Brisbane Bullets fans excited. Guys, thank you so much. I'm excited already. NBL26.